What's up out there, YouTube? This is your boy Joe Johnson 030. This is your boy SCL 0320.
That's right.
Here representing the JVS.
I'm
Still
sorry.
getting over, the weather. Some water. What's so funny?
Nothing.
This is real life right now.
Nothing,
This is real
man.
life. Alright, but anyway, we're doing another review for Supergirl, episode 3. What's the name of this episode?
Fight or Flight.
Fight or Flight. Here, the villain in this episode is Reactron.
Reactron.
Who allegedly had some run-ins with Superman in the past and nearly killed him. So he proves to be quite formidable opponent in this episode for Supergirl. Yeah, go ahead and talk about some of the other details, Sam. What's so funny?
I'm sorry. It kind of threw me off YouTube. My bad. I'm sorry, Joe.
That was fun.
Alright, so in this episode, it starts off really interesting because, like, Supergirl, she's doing a lot better as far as the way she's been, working with the group and everything, but at the same exact time, she just came off of doing her first interview with Cat Grant, her boss. Mm-hmm. And the interview goes pretty well at first, but it's like she's trying to, be who she's trying to be, but she hasn't discovered that yet. And in midway during the interview, it's like some of the questions became, in her opinion, kind of forced on her, and she doesn't like them. And at the same exact time, like, she asked a trigger question, and she basically spills the beans that she's cousins with Superman. And from that point on, Cat Grant, like, she goes on this epic mission that she has to kind of write this epic byline about who this girl is. And I mean, I think it resurfaced some stuff in Kara's psyche that who is Supergirl and who is Superman. Like, she was initially supposed to go there to really help Clark and protect him, and of course he doesn't need protecting, nor is she equipped at this point to really, do more than what he's been doing, because he's been doing this longer. And she's having this like battle between herself mentally and emotionally about what does Supergirl have that Superman doesn't, and can she do this without him, essentially. And as well as her group, like Jimmy and the other guy that's helping out, like, she wants them to believe that she can do it, basically, as well as everybody else, and that if she can't beat this guy, Reactron, then she's always going to be asking for help. And Reactron, I'll give a little brief synopsis about him. Like, throughout most of the comics, like, there was serious run-ins with him and Superman, but it was more Supergirl that he was always fighting with. If you look at the 52 comics and then some of the ones beforehand in the 90s, it was a lot of run-ins, and he actually gave him a run for money. His suit continues to get upgraded, but I think what was interesting about this, Joe, is that in, I think it's season 9 or season 10 of Smallville, there's an episode where Clark Kent, or Tom Welling's character as Clark Kent, goes into the future, and he meets up with Lois Lane, and he meets up with the future version of Clark Kent. And there's a reactor that goes off, and he moves so fast he stops the reactor from blowing up. Now, I think it is a pinpoint moment that happens in the comics, but for them to take like a Smallville moment as well, it led me to think, like, man, Tom Welling might show up, which would be really cool for them to kind of do that or push that, because I mean, that was a specific thing that happened in the actual series. But Superman shows up. Superman showed up because Kara tried to, go toe for toe with them, and she lost. And I mean, she almost died. And Jimmy, I love Jimmy in this episode because he was really vulnerable throughout the entire thing. Like, everything that he was doing with the motivation that he believed in her. He was scared for her, and he's, in my opinion, he's falling for her. He's falling in love with her. But she's doing the same exact thing. She goes grin like ear to ear. Like, she's always like looking at him in a certain kind of way, and it's really romantic from the standpoint of just looking at it as a viewer. But then we got caught up because the ball dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, you know, Jimmy was the one who called Superman in, and Supergirl, she kind of got like offended because it was just like, yo, did you not believe that I could do it? Even though Superman saved her life, she still had like this like kind of like pride thing going on where she's trying to find her way. She doesn't necessarily want help because she's trying to, you know, handle everything on her own.
Yeah.
And be her own. Probably stand outside of Superman's shadow. That's her goal. And so she's kind of mad at Jimmy at this point because she's like, yo, why did you even call Superman? Because, you know, did you not believe that I can handle it? You know? And basically Jimmy's like, I was scared for you, basically. And he was like, I was scared of losing. Nice. He's like, I'm scared of losing you, girl. Took her by the shoulders, looked in the eyes,
and then the villain popped up.
And then, not Superman, Reactron breaks up the party. This was actually at the party at the Supergirl ball that her boss did in celebration of getting the interview. So Reactron busts through the ceiling, started busting up the party, starts threatening people, pushing people around, strong arming everybody. And then, yeah, so before they actually was able to continue that conversation and get resolved, you know, he busts up the party. Supergirl puts a smack down on him, which is actually clever. Her sister did some backdoor digging while she had some downtime and pretty much figured out how a way to Supergirl to beat Reactron. Yeah. So she had to use like some lead. What's that, like encase the reactor in the middle of his armor in lead, which was kind of crazy visually to see because like we're like, this is not realistic. There's quite a few flaws with, you know, what just happened in that fight scene. Because essentially the reactor was a bomb in his chest, and the only way it wouldn't go off, it was sealed in lead. But she just had it in her hand, which was covered in lead. I don't know.
I mean, like, how did
the lead didn't crack while she was moving?
Yeah, it was like, weird. I mean, you gotta stick your hand in like molten like metal. Like the metal will cool over time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, especially lead. Like, I mean, yeah, it's mobile enough to be able to be maneuvered, but that didn't make sense to me. But anyway, I throw that out the door.
Throw that out the door.
It was some good fights though. I mean, they had some good.
It was a pretty good fight.
He was kind of like a knockoff of Metallo and Iron Man.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, he is a real villain. So at least they're like not making up random villains. Not just that, Maxwell Lord. You start to realize like how smart this dude is, and in my opinion, he's really dangerous because like he's really slimy. Like he obviously has some kind of vendetta against Supergirl because he didn't acknowledge her twice. Like he's talked down on her once, and then he doesn't acknowledge her. And he tried to get information from Cat Grant as to how she was able to get the interview. But then, what I thought was really interesting is the conversation. Well, it's two different things that happened at the end. One, Alex tells Kara that you obviously have feelings for Jimmy. You need to go and spend this night with him, basically. Because they were real close, you know, having something. And she goes to him. And old dude, all of a sudden, like, pops this most beautiful woman. And I was like, who is this? I was like, whoo! You know, and all of a sudden you find out this is Lucy Lane. That's Lois Lane's younger sister. And you find out that that's Jimmy's ex. And so, like, he's got a lot that he has to deal with. And at the same exact time, like I said in the last episode when I did the reviews, that I feel like Kara's stringing both guys along. Obviously she really has feelings for Jimmy, but she's also not letting the other guy know, like, you know, I'm not feeling you like that. Yeah. And I mean, she's not deliberately doing it, but like I said, there's a lot of times that happens when it comes to guys and girls, and it's eventually going to hit the fan because he's going to get his heart broken. And I could see him, with all the knowledge that he has, like, out of, you know, nervousness or upsetness or being angry, he might go and do something against her. So I worry about that in the long term. But we'll see where that goes in the next episode for sure. And then Kara has a conversation with Clark. And it was a really good conversation. Yeah. It was a really good conversation because they talked about the fact that he acknowledged her that, like, you're doing great. Like, I'm proud of you. I thank you. Like, you're doing things that I couldn't even do. I couldn't even be Reactron. As well as, like, she's able to communicate with him as though it's family. Like, she really has ties to family that's not a detriment to her. Like her freaking cousin. Or not a cousin, her aunt. So, we'll see where this all goes. I like the episode. What would you give it as far as a number? 1 to 10?
8.
8 out of 10? Yeah, I give it an 8.5. I actually really enjoyed it. The last 2 episodes, like the second one and this one, have been pretty good. I think, like I said, there are a lot of cheesy moments. There's a lot of moments that are like, even the whole interview stuff. But I see like the underlying things. There's a lot of layers to these characters that we're still trying to find out. Especially Cat Grant. I think that she's got a lot of different layers. And I want to believe that she might know that Kara is Supergirl. Because like the way that they talk, like her even having that small dialogue with Kara and like allowing her to vent about what she thinks about the article, like why would she care to listen to her and not just fire her? You know what I'm saying? There's not just a respect that she has for Supergirl. She's got a respect for Kara, and it's the same equal distribution.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that happen. But at the same time, you know, she is her assistant. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, she does do a good job. I mean, she's not perfect, but I don't necessarily, her boss is pretty hard, so I don't necessarily think she's expected to be perfect.
Yeah.
But she does do a good job. I think she really values her opinion because she is, you know, a young woman. And she definitely respects her skill. Otherwise, she mentioned that in this episode, like, her writing skills or something like that. She mentions that in the episode. Yeah. So I give this episode an 8 out of 10. You got an 8.5 from your boy SEL0320. And
hopefully you enjoyed this review.
Hopefully you enjoyed us talking on the review and about the episode, you know, and if whatever you thought about the episode, and whether you had opinions, questions, anything like that,
leave it in the comments section below.
Pick our brains, leave it in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Share the video, you know what I'm saying, to your friends, to your family, you know, all the fans. Much love out there, everybody. Holla at your boys. Joe Johnson 030, SEL 0320,
He's
JPS.
sleepy. We're going.
I am not sleepy.
It's okay, Joe.
I'm hyped.
It's
you know
okay,
what I'm saying?
Joe.
Alright, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Take it easy.
Good night.